Alright, let's get serious with how van life's been going so far. Which, it has not been going how we thought it was going to. Unfortunately, we have not been able to sell the house or have any bites on the house. So that has slowed us down majorly with our plans. We were hoping to have sold the house, been closed already, and been on the road full time. But unfortunately, that market is just not what we thought it was. Apparently, Washington has like an abundance of houses right now. So yes, not very favorable by us. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of go over with what our plan is from here on out, kind of why I've dialed back on some videos. And then I was kind of going to give a van tour 2.0-ish, kind of some of the things that we've added since the van tour. And then I kind of want to go over the pros and cons that we've found with the van since we've had it. So let's go ahead and get started with the van tour real fast. So honestly, it hasn't been a whole lot. We're still trying to work out a lot of kinks and everything. I think we've added some like extra trays and stuff for like our meats and then our produce because we let a cucumber stay in there too long, and let's just say we're pretty messy inside the produce drawer that we had. We bought these shelves for the back. We were gonna put them on the back door, but after kind of staying a few nights here, we realized we didn't want to do that. But I really wanted to put them somewhere because we spent the money on them. So I found a spot here. This is kind of our coffee one. We had our coffee grounds up there, but the container that we had our coffee grounds in started cracking. So we went ahead and just put that back in the coffee drawer. But we got our coffee cups, our mix and stuff for espresso. This is kind of our random shelf. We kind of just got like, we've honestly been putting candy up there, but there's no candy up there right now. Our tablets, not our tablets, our Kindles go up there. Our glasses. We added a Bluetooth speaker, and then one of the great features that we did because we were tired of our rechargeable fairy lights rolling around everywhere. I went ahead and I put these LED strips all the way around. They're plug-in. So we go unplug them when we drive and then plug them back in when we're driving or when we get to our camp. But yeah, we wanted more lights other than like the big ones. And then I really wanted ones with like a remote control so then we can control it from like the bed. Because I was tired of coming all the way over here, turning off the fairy lights, and then coming all the way back into the bed at night. So this was pretty cool. It also does motion sensor, or not motion sensor, sound motion, or sound detection. Gosh, damn. Yeah, so it does sound detection. So if we're watching a movie, or we're just listening to music or whatnot, or we just change it to all these different colors depending on our mood. So those that have seen the first van tour video will notice that these were originally just fake cabinets. There were nothing there. They're just this. And then I realized that that's so much wasted space for storage. So I am by no means a carpenter, but I did my best. I created these drawers. This one houses all my electronics, which that was taking up a lot of space down in that cabinet. And this one is all Tia's hygiene stuff because she was tired of fighting the bags on the back of the seat to wash her face or do whatever she had to do. Which opened up so much room for here. Like that tub is just our like first aid stuff. That basket is practically empty. That tub practically empty. Coming over here, we ended up moving our pots and pans over, and then that tub is all our extra camping stuff and whatnot. And then I think we had this over here. Our jackery, our massage gun goes on top, and then there's a whole empty space above that tub. So by building these drawers is it opened up so much space. We also use the jackery for our induction oven and our coffee pot, so we're not draining the house batteries, which the coffee pot doesn't take a lot of electricity. We found that it can go, I think we can go like 2 or 3 days of cooking all 3 meals off of the jackery battery and coffee. Coffee, this little mat was doing so great for our coffee pot. But there was one day we were driving, coming off a mountain, and I was coming in a little too fast. So I had to apply the brakes a little bit harder, and this sent our coffee pot flying. There's a story to that I'll get to in a minute. So to stop that from happening next time, other than me driving too fast, I put a bungee cord here with some eyelets so we can just wrap it and keep our coffee pot in place and not have it send it flying. So the story. So we drink a lot of coffee, or at least I drink a lot of coffee. Tia used to. Now she's coming down about 2 cups a day. But me, I drink it all day. So when we make a pot, I don't like to waste it, so I keep it. And then I end up drinking it throughout the day, or I'll save and put in the fridge. Well, the day we were camping, or going to camp actually, there was coffee in the coffee pot. Brakes got applied too hard. Coffee pot goes flying. It's a metal one, so it's not glass, nothing will break. The actual maker itself fell on Daisy. The pot luckily did not break our window, but fell. The top that we have, you have to push a button to actually release the coffee, or else our door would have been painted. So coffee's drizzling out a little bit. We're coming down a mountain, and Tia gets up to go. I don't know why I'm smiling. Tia gets up to go get the coffee pot and to fix it so it's not leaking everywhere and make sure Daisy's okay. So in the process of doing that, she comes back over here, puts the coffee pot back where it goes, and because we're coming down a hill, there's a lot of turns, somehow, and she's the same height as me, she falls into this corner, and I don't think you can see it here. Let's come over here and look. So, camera. This corner, so she jams her ribs into that corner, and she's out. She's like on the ground, like healed over in pain, and I'm trying to drive on this pass, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? And she's like, I'm okay. And yeah, that turned into its whole ordeal. She had some bruising on her side where she hit, but she was fine. She was fine up to 3 days, and then I guess it kind of just caught up to her. She ended up getting sick. It was a whole ordeal. She's still slowly getting over it, and I felt real bad. Wasn't my fault. Someone shouldn't be so clumsy. No, really, I'm glad she was okay. I thought she broke a rib. We were on our way to camp, so I was like, oh, great, now we got to go to an ER, and, we have to figure that whole thing out, because that's a whole other ball game with us right now, and the van life thing. So, yeah, that bungee cord is going to save Tia from another rib injury, or myself, because this, I guess we'll get into it, this has been one of the things we hate the most about this van. I know it's probably done. It's probably done for this reason, to give us the max amount of room for our refrigerator. But we hate that corner. It is so just like weird. It's out there. I've hit myself on it, I think twice now. I just feel if we had that little extra, I think that's 2 inches, it would make a huge difference in this little hallway. But yes, that corner has been a destroyer of us, and I feel that it will continue to be a destroyer of us. We have not, cross my fingers, knock on wood, stubbed our toes on that corner yet, down on the ground, but I fear that it will be coming. Okay, so let's get into some of the things that we don't like. And we're not trying to sound ungrateful, but because we are grateful, we're grateful that we even have this thing. It's amazing that this dream is even coming true. But there's always going to be things you don't like about anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So some of the big things we dislike about the van is our kitchen sink, which my aunt called it. We do wish our kitchen sink was a little bit deeper and maybe bigger. We have talked about perhaps expanding the sink or getting it bigger, maybe when we have a little bit more money. The storage space has been good. I just kind of wish that some things were a little bit different. I wish the storage space underneath, which we'll get down to the garage later, I wish the batteries were kind of enclosed with its own little air venting thing or something like that. just because like I'm so afraid of something hitting the batteries or hitting the electronical spot like stuff that's gonna fry it or ruin it. So I kind of wish those were closed. Um, our toilet, I wish it would have came with the vent. I guess the attachment it has. There's a thing you can buy where there's like a battery powered like fan, and it will suck the smell out outside out the door that we pull the cassette out. I don't think that was an option. We never asked, but we knew going into this that this toilet could be a little bit stinky. Let's see. Van life with 2 dogs. We knew was going to be a challenge. But let's just say every time we get anywhere for after a drive, we have to sweep out the van. We have to vacuum the van. Uh, we end up buying like a mini shop vac that lives under the bed next to the dog crate because Daisy, she is like a tarantula. She coughs and she just poofs out hair. Millie, she sheds, but her hair is kind of like staticky and it kind of like forms into its own ball and it just kind of like floats around. Which is not a big, like, that's easy. You sweep that out. But daisies, man, that is like freaking confetti. It just goes everywhere. So yeah, van life, 2 dogs, challenging. We're getting over it. It's just what it is. What it is. We love our dogs. I will say though, when it is just one dog, it is going to be significantly easier to do things. Especially because Millie is a little bit well behaved or better behaved, and yeah, there's just that. Other dislikes, man. See, it is hard. Oh, for Mercedes being such a high tier vehicle, I think the electronics for like your phone stuff is crap, absolute crap. So like the self talking when you're driving will read the text message to you. That has such a like long delay, or it just has trouble reading it. It's almost like I don't have service on my phone, but I do. And then when trying to like reply and I'm talk to text, it doesn't know what the hell I'm saying, or it just like it is absolutely horrible. I have not had any problem with my Subaru and that portion of it, but when it comes to the Mercedes, it is crap. I hate trying to do the text to talks with Mercedes. So there's that huge thing. Mercedes, get your crap together. Get with Subaru. Figure out what's going on. Um, other things, I think. I mean, it is when you buy anything new, there's gonna be things wrong with it. But we've had like several issues with the van already. The shocks out of anybody's hands. Like that just I think was just a freak accident. Um, I don't think I told anybody, but our electrical system, our solar panels, the wiring was done different. Like not I guess wrong. It was just hooked up in a different. So we had too much power coming in from the panels, and they just had to do some extra connections. I don't know how that was overlooked. I don't know. God, there was something else. I think that's it. So on with the pros. What we're loving about the van so far is how kind of homey it is. We're glad we went with the different tones of wood, the countertops, everything. It literally feels like a home. At night when we have all the curtains up and we have our lights on and we're just kind of doing our own thing, it feels it's our home. So that's what we're glad we went with that. I'm super glad the big windows. I said it in the first fan tour. Windows are freaking great. No matter where we're at, we're able to get a view of wherever like what we park to see. Driving blind spots almost don't exist because the windows are so big. I can just like look out the sliding glass door and then see what I need to see. I don't have to rely on Tia all the time. Fridge, huge plus, huge. All the extra like space that we have so far because we're not living out of our van is amazing. That's a pro. I am shocked that there's not a lot of I'm not shocked. Let me take that back. A lot of things you think would be metal that you'd be able to click onto, like the refrigerator door, no, not magnetic. The headliner shelf, unfortunately, not magnetic. But it's a weight thing. I'm assuming if you had some, I guess like steel or metal, whatever kind of metal is magnetic, it probably weighs more than whatever they're using. So kind of pros and cons. God, there was another pro. I'm sure I'll think of it later. But let's go check out the garage because we've done a little bit of things there, and I'll kind of talk about what our plans are on the inside. So let's start with the obvious. We lowered our box down, and then we ended up buying a bike rack from Owl Vans. Right now my bike's up there. We originally bought it for Tia's bike, and then I was kind of like a little kid, and I was like, I want a new bike, so I ended up getting a bike. Tia's is easier to take apart for now. I actually just ordered a second mount, so if we check this out, these poles attach to our door mount, and then the rack just goes on them. So there should be enough room to put another rack here, and then her bike will go there. I might have to slide it out a little bit more. But yeah, so we bought the mounts for bikes, and then we lowered the box, so it's a lot easier to get to. I don't know what we're gonna do with the propane and the milk crate yet. We might just put it in the van for now, and then when we get where we're going, take it out. Because Tia is pretty adamant on not having the propane in there, which I understand it's a safety thing. But let's get inside the garage. Like I said, her bike is easier to take it apart for now, but the rack is on its way, and that will live up on top of the storage boxes. Inside here, we haven't been able to fully brainstorm how we want to do it. We were thinking about hanging hooks from these beams, or kind of like off of here, and hang our helmets from there. Her swim bag's gonna go on there. Maybe her gym bag, my gym bag. I did put some hooks in the door. I have my hat there and my running vest for now. Because she has been sick, we haven't been able to really brainstorm how we want to do this. But essentially, she's going to get the door, probably like that portion. And then I'll get this door because I don't have that much. And then we got rid of the Blackstone and end up getting a smaller camp grill that we're able to mount here. And that's pretty much it from what we changed back here. Once we get her bike out of there and kind of get the hook set up and organized, it's going to be so much easier, because I wanted to do a hike, and I'd have to climb in there, remove those tubs, get in there, get my hike bag, and that's just not gonna work. So I don't know if anybody is familiar with YouTubers. Karen, they're massive YouTubers, and they do these cool challenges, physical challenges, when they're not traveling the world. And some of the ones that caught my eye was they rode across America on like a 3-person bike with some friends. And then they rode across Iowa. They rode across the Colorado Trail. And then Nate started doing ultramarathon running. Now, I've known ultramarathon running has existed because of like David Goggins and stuff like that. But I don't know if it was just seeing kind of like a normal average guy complete them that lit this fire under me. But I have developed a strong passion for ultramarathon running. I think about it constantly. There's not a day that goes by that I don't imagine myself crossing a finish line after running 100 miles. Like, through the mountains, a trail run. Like, just, it gives me goosebumps even thinking about it. So, that has kind of been what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of training, trying to get ready for some upcoming events. But in the time frame of all that, of me developing, I don't think her finding a passion for it is the right word, but she came up with this goal. So Tia came to me and said, I want to do a half Ironman. Now, I've done a lot of physical things in my life. I was in the Army. I deployed to Afghanistan. I was a firefighter. So I've done some things that I'm proud of. So, and I'm not saying that she hasn't, but I am super hyper freaking focused on getting this goal done for her. I want to see her cross that finish line. Like, that gets me almost as excited as it does like me thinking about 100-miler. So she said this, and she found a bike, and I said, okay, I'll find a way to mount it on the van so we can take it everywhere. Bought the bike rack, and then she was like, I need to swim. So I was like, okay, well, here's some options. So we've been going back to the base to go swim. So yeah, all our trips and everything are going to kind of revolve around our training a little bit. We're still going to go out and take the van out and do things, but I think depending on where we go and how long is going to depend on what we have to do for training. So in the fire of all this, I signed up for a half marathon. I don't think I've ever ran more than maybe 7 or 8 miles. I'm not sure. In the Army, I'm pretty sure we haven't run more than that in like one stretch. So I was like, I can do a half marathon. Let's do it. So I signed up for a half marathon, started training hard for that, and then Tia came to me and said, hey, I want to do a Spartan race. So I said, all right, let's do a Spartan race. So, so we signed up for a Spartan race. And then while we were down in Sisters, I found out that they had a 100-mile race. And then they had like a 50K or like a 50-mile race. They have like smaller races there. And I was like, in November. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do one. So I set that goal out to do one of those races in November. Well, in the process of searching that on a website, I found that there is a different amount races up Mount Hood in Oregon. And in my training pattern, it just happened to fall that I'll be doing about 14K, which is about 9 miles, in the time frame they're doing the race. So in September, I will be running up a volcano, Mount Hood in Oregon, for 9 miles for an approximately, I think, 2,600 feet elevation gain for my first trail run ever, like race trail run ever. Yeah, not in September, in August, I'm sorry. So in like 3 weeks, I'll be doing that. And then in September, that's when I'm doing the half marathon, and then we're doing the Spartan race. And then we hope, depending on where we're at, it's either going to be the Sisters one or maybe one in Arizona. I'll be doing a 50-miler. That will be my official first ultra marathon race. I'm super I can't even explain the feeling I get thinking about it and thinking about doing it. Just testing your body to that limit. And then our ultimate goal is by next year, I will have signed up and completed a 100-mile race, and Tia will have signed up and completed a half Ironman. That's going to be in Salem, Oregon. Yeah, so big plans, big goals in kind of like right next to the Vanlife thing. So in the meantime, since our house isn't selling and we're really vamping up our training, I think our adventures are going to dial back a little bit. We're still going to go on them, but like I said, they're going to be revolved around our training. Some of the content I put out, I think, is going to be some of our training, some of our bike rides. Today was our first bike ride. I was going to do it. I was going to record today, but because it was Tia's first time on this style of bike, I kind of just wanted to like make sure she was okay, and it was the first time I've been on this bike, and it's the first time we were on this trail. So next time, I think next week, we're going to do the whole length of the trail, which is 14 miles one way, 14 miles back. And I think I'm going to record that and make a whole video of that. So from here on out, I think our content is going to be a mixture of van life, adventures, and training for our goals. A little bit of Tia, not so much like full of her training, but some. And yeah, it's been a bummer that the house hasn't sold yet and we are not on the road full time like we thought we would be, but it is what it is, and we're just gonna roll with it and keep going. So I know this video was weird. I know I'm talking a lot. I hate videos where I'm just to the camera. But yeah, so if you haven't watched the first van tour, it's gonna be in one of these corners. I'm not sure which one it is. If you are looking forward to seeing some of our training and watching us complete these goals that we've set out for ourselves, or just seeing one of the adventures, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, the little bell notification button, and share with your friends. If anybody needs like motivation to do anything physical, send this video to them and let them follow our journey. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.